In this video, we're going to do a review on the Penn Spinfisher VII combo, the reel and the rod that you can get directly from Penn. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. Today we're doing a review on the Penn Spinfisher VII combo. I have the combo right here in my hands. I've already had it out fishing, which is why you can see it's all rigged up. It's got a Polk County tweaker from Salt Strong on it there on a jig head. Did some sea trout fishing with this thing. This thing was awesome, performed really, really well. I can't wait to get it on some bigger fish. And guys, if you want to see the reel review, so I did a review on the reel. So we're going to talk about the combo today. I'm not going to dig into the reel all that much, because if you want to see the full review on the reel, check out this video right here that has the full review on the reel as well as action of this combo fishing. So if you want to see this combo landing some fish, check out that video. I'm probably not going to put any fishing content in this video just to keep it short, but if you want to see this rod and reel in action, check that one out. But we're going to talk about the combo today, guys, because, you know, Penn is known for their fishing reels, right? Their fishing reels are well renowned for, you know, getting offshore and even doing some inshore, you know, saltwater fishing. They're well renowned reels, well respected reels. And I got to say, guys, I can see why when I fish with them, I have super confidence in their ability to land fish. And so I've been really, really happy with this reel and this combo so far. Admittedly, it's still new, guys, so you know, the cork hasn't started to change color yet. You can tell how old my rods are by whether or not my cork is starting to get beat up, but sounds like a personal problem, Kevin. Anyway, let's move on. But today we're going to talk about the combo, because in addition to just being able to buy reels from Penn, you can buy reels with rods matched to them, right? And that might be the way you want to go. It might not. And I'm going to be super honest in this video, guys. So let's get into it. So first of all, let's just talk about the options, right? So in the Penn Spinfisher VII combo, right, you can get reels in the 2500, 3500, 4500, 5500, 6500, or 8500 size. Okay, there are some other sizes, I think, that you can just buy the reel. I think they have a 10,500 size, so, you know, but they don't have that in a combo, right? So a few less options in the reel size in the combo versus just buying the reel, but those are the sizes you have. And then in the rods, right, you have choices of 7 foot, 8 foot, 6.5 foot, and 10 foot. Everything from medium light to medium heavy to heavy rods. So obviously there's a big, wide range of combo choices, right? And so everything from, you know, your inshore fishing like this setup, and even one smaller than this, because this is the 3500 size, and you can get a 2500 size with a medium light action rod, all the way up to, you know, a serious, you know, rod that's got a, you know, 8500 size reel that's heavy, you know, lots of big fish fighting action with a combo like that, right? So there's lots of options, right? And for all of these rods, guys, they are one piece. And this one that I'm reviewing today is the medium light. So let's talk about this one specifically, guys, because, you know, with so many variables, it's hard to cover them all. You know, really, I'm not doing a lot of offshore fishing with, you know, spinning combos. I wish I was. That sounds amazing. But most of the stuff I'm doing, because I'm fishing off a pontoon boat, is my inshore saltwater stuff. So really, you know, that's what I'm going to focus on for this video and about this combo, because that's the one I've tested. I haven't tested the big ones, right? But let's just talk about this one real quick. And let's get the stuff about the reel out of the way, because again, you can check out my reel video. But I love that these are IPX5 sealed, so they are, you know, sealed reels, sealed drags. Got the HT100 drag system. Fantastic reels, guys. So I highly recommend, you know, these reels if you're going after, you know, saltwater fish. You're almost always fishing in saltwater. You're pursuing saltwater fish, saltwater fishing. You know, I do like a sealed reel, so I like that a lot. It does have a CNC gear with a brass main gear, so that should last a long time. and it's a 5 bearing with 1 roller bearing, sealed stainless steel bearing system. So that's always good. Let's talk about the rod, right? Because that's really what I want to talk about, is the rod. When you're talking about fishing rods, guys, right, I tend to think of fishing rods in terms of price classes, right? I think of rods that are under $50. I think of rods that are between $50 and $100. I think of rods that are between $100 and $200. And then I think of rods that are $200 and above. And I basically judge a rod's performance based on its price point. So does that make sense, right? Like, it's really hard to compare a rod that's under $50 to a rod that's over $200, right? The rod that's over $200 should best the $50 and under rod in every capacity, every category, right? So it's not fair to compare a inexpensive rod and a expensive rod. And even though this reel is a $200 reel from Penn, it's not matched with a $200 rod, right? So let's get that out of the way first. The combo I have in my hand right now off Penn's website is $229.99. Now the reel is $199.99. So if I do the math, the difference between the price of the reel and the price of the combo is 30 bucks. Right? Now, I know that that's MSRP, right? I know that the reel really isn't 200 and the rod's only 30, right? But I think it's pretty close to that. And here's why I say that. You cannot go on Penn's website and buy the Spinfisher VII rod by itself. You can't. There is no rod on there. As a matter of fact, if you go to rods and you go to Inshore, you'll find different rods at different price points, right? You'll find the Battalion, you'll find a number of other rods. I don't even really know them all. I haven't tested them yet, but I would love to get my hands on some, so who knows, stay tuned for a future video. I can't help myself. Fishing rods and reels just follow me home. But you can't buy the Spinfisher VII rod, which means to me that it is really set up just to sell as a combo, right? So that for people who want a reel, but they also need a rod, Penn wanted a solution that would perform adequately. And guys, that's what I would say this combo does, right? I love the reel. I like the rod. You know, I'll go there. So let me tell you what I think about it, right? So in the description, right, or at least the features, they say that it is a graphite composite blank. Right, so a graphite composite blank usually means that there's some fiberglass in there, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially when you're going after big fish, is you want some backbone in the rod. You want some strength, right? And so the problem with fiberglass is it adds weight and it decreases sensitivity compared to an all graphite or carbon type rod, right? So rod manufacturers have been working on ways to mix those two components together, the graphite and the fiberglass, to make a composite blank that performs really well, is light and sensitive and strong. I think Penn has done a really good job. If I consider this rod an under $50 rod, right, which I think it is, because if Penn's selling the reel for $200 and selling the combo for $230, right? Let's put it in the under $50 class. For an under $50 rod, you're getting a tremendous rod. I think it's really, really good in that class. Now, if you're familiar with rods from like Toadfish Outfitters or Bull Bay or St. Croix or even, you know, some of your higher end, like your Fenwicks, you know, those kinds of rods, right? Those rods blow this rod out of the water. Right? There's no comparison, but you're talking about a huge price difference. Okay? So let's talk about this rod. So this rod specifically has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guides and a tip for 8 total guides. And in a 7-foot rod, that's a lot of guides. So Penn puts these one-piece guides on here, and I'm going to see if they have. Yep, they call them the Penn Dura guides, which are one-piece guides, and typically what they are is they're like a stainless steel And I like one-piece guides because the insert can't pop out. So these rods are going to be a little bit more durable in terms of getting them to and from the water. Like, one of the things I hate is when I throw rods up in the boat and I get to where I'm fishing and I find this ring in the bottom of the boat because the rod took a hit somewhere bouncing down the road and popped the guide out, and now I can't use that rod, right? So I like one-piece guides from that standpoint. You know, the bottom guide is, you know, a pretty large guide, which should help with some line flow and that kind of thing. I didn't really seem to see much drag of the line through the guides, which was good. This bottom guide is bigger than some of the other Penn combo spinning rods that I've seen, like specifically from the Fierce or the Pursuit or the Battle. All of those rod combos have a smaller first guide, so just keep that in mind. It's kind of an interesting thing. I figured they'd all be the same. But, you know, all in all, you know, decent guides, decent blank. The other thing that's interesting to me is that there are two medium lights that are available. So there's this one that I have, and then there's one that comes with a 2500 size reel instead of a 3500 size reel. And on Penn's website, it says that the one that comes with a 2500 size reel is for a line rating of 6 to 12 pounds, and the one that comes with the 3500 size reel is 8 to 15 pounds. I really wonder if it's a different blank, and I don't have two of them to compare, or if it's the same rod just paired with a different reel. So I don't know that. So I guess kind of how I chose the 3500, because actually really what I would have liked is a 2500 size reel with an 8 to 15 pound line rating. So I chose the 3500 because I wanted the 8 to 15 pound line rating. So I'd love to get my hands on a 2500 combo just to see if it's the same rod with a different reel, and that's why they have the line capacity difference, or if it really is a different rod. I don't know. But in terms of this one with the 3500, it is an 8 to 15 pound line rating. Oh, I should say, by the way, guys, that there are two of these rods that are two-piece. I think in the beginning of the video I said that they were all one-piece, but they're all the really big ones. So there's a 10-foot rod length that's a heavy action rod, 15 to 30 pound line rating, that's moderate fast action, as a two-piece rod. And then there's an 8-foot rod that is also a two-piece rod that has a 12 to 20 pound line rating. So those two are two-piece. All of the ones that are 7 foot and under are one-piece rods. So I should cover that. In terms of all the combos that you would get to fish the flats, right? Everything from the 4500 and down are all 6.2 to 1 gear ratio. So I really like that. You can switch the handle left to right. I like that. Right? Again, try not to talk too much about the reel, but just trying to give you an idea that, you know, these are, you know, really good combos to start off with. Let's talk about line capacity. So on this one, which is again the 7-foot medium light with the 3500 reel, for braid capacity, it'll take 310 yards of 10-pound braid, 270 yards of 15-pound braid, or 220 yards of 20-pound braid. That's a lot of braid, guys. It does have a braid ready spool, but I always recommend, you know, backing the reel with monofilament and then adding braid to it. Right now I am running a Berkley X9 braid. This is a 15-pound test braid with a 20-pound fluorocarbon leader, which needs to be changed out because that's pretty rough right now. But hey, that's what happens when you fish. And so, guys, you know, I really liked it. I really liked the way it performed, and I have really no problem with buying a combo, especially if you're just starting out and you need a rod and reel and you want a decent reel, or something that's going to stand up to saltwater. You know, buying one of these combos is a decent way to go. You'll catch a lot of fish. But I kind of have a philosophy, and that philosophy is I typically want more money in my rod than I want in my reel. And what that means is when I'm fishing rods that are higher price points, I typically get longer casting distance, I get better performance, I get more sensitivity, I get something that's lighter weight, which is really important to me because I'm dealing with a wrist injury, and so I have a hard time casting far or casting a lot. And when I'm fishing artificials, guys, I'm casting 500 to 700 times a day, right? In a single fishing trip, I'll cast that many times. So if I'm casting that much, right, weight kind of matters. And so buying rods at higher price points gives me those things. I also like to fish when I'm fishing on the flats. I like to fish a 7.5 foot rod. These combos, especially for the flats rods, only come in 7-foot models. So, is the combo right for you? This is what I would say. Number one, the reel is awesome. So if you want the reel and you're going to spend $200 on a reel, which you will for the Penn Spinfisher VII and the 3500, for $30 more, you get a pretty decent rod, which means you can get out there and fish right away. And then, as your budget allows, upgrade the rod, take the Spinfisher VII reel off this rod and put it on a rod that's a little higher dollar, a little better performing. And you always have a backup rod, right? Which is an awesome thing, right? Because if you're out there fishing and you snap a rod or a guide pops off or something happens, it's always great to have a backup fishing rod. And what you could do is you could buy one of the more inexpensive Penn reels. Like you could go pick up a Penn Wrath, right? That's relatively inexpensive. Slap it on this Spinfisher VII rod, spool it up with some line, and have a fantastic second outfit that's ready to go should your main outfit have an issue. So I think the way this is priced, right? If you're going to spend $200 on a reel and you don't mind having extra rods around, spending $230 on the combo and then having a really nice backup rod is not a bad way to go. Also, if you don't have enough money to put $200 in a reel and $200 in a rod or $100 in a rod or whatever, starting off with a combo and waiting till later is a way to go. Now, the other way to go is to buy an expensive rod and buy a less expensive reel. That's probably the way that I would do it if I was just starting out, but you can decide which one is more important to you, the rod or the reel. And quite honestly, that's probably depending on what you're fishing. If you're fishing live bait and you don't have to worry about casting distance, and you're either fishing live bait under a cork or a float, or you're just chunking live bait, dropping it down on the bottom or that kind of thing, you may not need one of those higher dollar rods. And what you really want is the quality of the reel to winch in the fish, in which case, this is a fantastic way to go. So it really all depends on what kind of fishing you're doing. Since I'm fishing artificials on the flats where casting distance really matters and the number of casts I make really matters, I kind of want a higher dollar, higher performing rod. But I have plenty of applications where this rod specifically will get lots of use on pontoon fish. So that's kind of what I think about these combos. Hopefully this helps you make a decision as to whether or not you should just buy the reel or whether or not you should buy the combo. Guys, I'm going to put affiliate links below to both the reel, the Spinfisher VII reel, as well as the Spinfisher VII combo, so you can choose whichever one you want. They are affiliate links, guys, so when you use my link to purchase, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it's a great way to support my channel as I get a little commission on the sale. So it's always greatly appreciated when you use my links, but hey, you can do whatever you want. You can go buy it at Bass Pro. You can go, these combos are in a lot of places, so you can go pick one up for yourself if you don't want to buy online. I totally get it. Guys, if you have any questions about when to get the combo versus when to get the reel, drop some in the comments below. I hope I was clear, but if you're still confused, definitely drop some in the comments below and let me know, and I would love to try and clear that up. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos, guys, where I'm reviewing both Penn reels and Penn combos, so be sure to hit that subscribe, ring that little bell icon that notifies you when I release new videos, and give me a thumbs up on this video if it was helpful to you. Guys, I'm Kevin with Camp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. We exist to help moms and dads take their kids camping, hiking, fishing, learn about nature, and develop a conservation ethic. We want to help you get you and your kids outside. That's kind of why we're doing all these gear reviews, guys, is we want to make it easier for you to select what you need to get your family outside and get them fishing. And guys, going fishing with my family is one of my favorite things to do, but one of the things that I know I need is quality gear at a variety of price points so that my boys can fish, my wife can fish, I can fish, anybody I have as guests can fish. And we can all have a good time and we can be successful. So that's why I'm bringing you these gear recommendations and reviews. So hopefully you can make the decision for yourself on what works for you and your family. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.